2026 is stacked with some proper big releases, but today I wanted to shine some light on some other games that may not quite be the biggest, or maybe they aren't getting the attention that they truly deserve. So hello everyone, my name is Aidan, this is Push Square, and from horror movie tie-ins to first-person Souls-likes, here are 10 upcoming PS5 games that you should not ignore in 2026. Alright, let's start out with that first-person Souls-like, Valor Mortis, which is confirmed to release on PS5 at some point in 2026. You have fought and died for Napoleon, but now you've arisen in a country that's quite a bit different from the one you sacrificed yourself for. A horrific plague has swept the lands, and now you must master combat to purge the land of its infestation. You'll be exploring the many secrets of its alternate history 19th century Europe, bumping into historical figures, or versions of them at least along the way, and with plenty of upgrades and skills to learn, the challenging fast-paced combat will keep you on your toes throughout. This is actually from the developers of the Ghost Runner games, so you know that they can do fast-paced first-person combat, and while it's not the first time to ever be done, I do like that the first-person Souls approach is a little bit different, so I think this is one you should keep an eye out for. Now, how about some Lovecraftian horror? Well, The Sinking City 2 has got plenty of that. Starting out as a Kickstarter project that was fully funded in under 2 hours, people are pretty passionate about this game. In it, you will explore the flooded ruins of Arkham, fighting off eldritch creatures, facing beings beyond human comprehension, and all whilst investigating the dark mysteries of your surroundings. If you have played the last game, which came out in 2019, the key areas that Frogware is trying to improve are in its exploration, combat, and its attention to detail. I still think the game has a bit of jank to it. It is a lower budget game after all, but there's something admirable about the whole Kickstarter process, so hopefully that passion and support translates to a sequel that's worth the wait in 2026. Ontos is a sci-fi thriller that debuted at the Game Awards in 2025, and it seems to be your low-key dose of Bioshock goodness. You play as Adita, who has been invited to the moon base of Samsara by your estranged father, a smart dude who has somehow become a bit of a pseudo-religious cult leader. Now, it's basically an immersive sim, which certainly gets me excited, and you'll have a whole labyrinthine lunar base to explore at your own will, with no one solution to your many problems, an immersive narrative to enjoy, and many systems that require planning and care, unless you fancy suffering the consequences. That is ticking a lot of boxes for me, so I'm keeping an eye out for Ontos, which at the time of recording is just scheduled for 2026. Hellraiser Revival isn't the only horror movie tie-in of the year, but can you believe it, it's actually withheld the urge to become an asymmetrical multiplayer Dead by Daylight clone. No, instead, Hellraiser Revival is actually a full-blown single-player first-person action horror survival game. In it, you play as Aiden, who must use the Genesis configuration to help rescue his girlfriend from the hellscape that is the Labyrinth. You'll get to battle against the cult devoted to the Cenobites in bone-crunching combat. Now, this looks very cool, and I think it's nice to have a single-player game like it for once. Directive 8020 is the latest from Supermassive Games, meaning it's another choice-based narrative experience from the people that brought you Until Dawn. This game sees a mysterious, shape-shifting life form make its way aboard the Cassiopeia, a colony ship hoping to save humanity in Tau Ceti F. Now, this is basically the Thing in space, so you're going to have to outwit your alien pursuer as it mimics your crewmates. You must choose between saving yourself or humanity, with narrative choices that will impact endings, the fate of characters, and uncover new narrative paths. And there's also a rewind tree so that you can try out different decisions to see how differently it can pan out, so there's a lot of replayability there. This one was scheduled for 2025, but was delayed, and as of recording is aiming for the first half of 2026. Lords of the Fallen 2 is another Souls-like, I know, but I think this series actually has a bit of sauce about it. It started around 2014, somewhere around there. It had a soft reboot in 2023, and now the sequel to that reboot, Lords of the Fallen, is dropping this year. The cool thing about this series is its split world mechanic, where the world of the living and the dead exist on top of each other simultaneously, and you can then use this mystical umbral lamp to basically switch between them. With that comes new enemies, a cool risk-reward mechanic where the longer you're in there, the more dangerous it is, and other paths to navigate its world. I'm very excited for this sequel because Hexworks has put a lot of work into improving the last game post-launch and is seemingly taking on a lot of player feedback to improve things like its boss fights in this sequel. Romeo is a Dead Man is the latest from Suda51. It is dropping on PS5 on February 11th. In it, you play as Romeo, an FBI space-time special agent, where you must hunt down space-time's most wanted fugitives through multiple universes. That's a really wacky but insanely unique premise, and it certainly wants to hold on to that wackiness with bloody action as you hack and shoot your way through enemies. It supposedly dons a bit of an episodic structure where each episode will see you explore a different era of time. You know, this one actually flew under my radar entirely, but after reading about it, I'm actually on board. I'm very keen to check this one out. In John Carpenter's Toxic Commandos, an experiment to harness the power of the Earth's core has gone horribly awry, and instead, the sludge god has been released, consuming the world in scummy flesh and turning the living into undead monsters. It's then down to the Toxic Commandos, a collective of mercenaries, to take on the sludge god and send him back from whence he came. With a sort of buddy movie 80s cinema vibe to it, you'll take on various playstyles along with 3 other friends to blast hordes of the undead to bits. Work together, upgrade your skills, and take on more difficult challenges. Hopefully this taps into that Left 4 Dead fun that many have chased yet failed. Toxic Commandos is scheduled to launch on the 12th of March. Dune Awakening, or Dune as so many people keep pointing out in the comments. Look, I just don't say it like that. Anyway, Dune Awakening is a survival MMO from Funcom, the team behind Conan Exiles, and of course is set in Frank Herbert's seminal sci-fi universe. I had a lot of fun with this one on PC when it launched last year, but I've been really holding out for that PS5 release. Like most live service MMO stuff, I always feel like the hype and fervour kind of dies down after launch, but with its base building, its lore-inspired resource gathering, and the fairly unique PvP interactions that you can have, make this one stand out to me. It could be a really fun one for you and your mates to play together. There's no firm release date on this one, just 2026 at this point. Lastly, one game that I have felt has really flown under the radar is the Expanse Osiris Reborn. I've only recently started watching the TV show and I've got the first book just kind of sitting there waiting to go, but from my limited experience, I've already really gelled with this take on a geopolitical sci-fi universe. With that, Osiris Reborn, which is scheduled to launch this year, has some serious potential. It's a third-person action RPG. You must make up a crew and forge your own path through the drama, deceit, and backstabbing between Earthers, Martians, and Belters. I think this has some serious potential to be like a proper kind of Mass Effect-like sci-fi RPG for us, so I'm counting down the days for this one. So there you have it, 10 games that I think are kind of flying under the radar a little bit. Some of them are big games, some not so much. All of them though, I think you should be considering amongst the big hitters of 2026. Let me know any game that you think deserves a bit of attention this year down in the comments below. And while you're there, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more PlayStation video content just like this. Anyway, that's it from me today. Thank you as always for checking out the video, and until next time, I've been Aaron, and this has been Push Square.